Good morning, viewers of Concerned Citizens Media. Thank you for coming back. Nice to have you here. So, before I go to uh, my comment about or the urgent call about Abiy Ahmed's uh, uh, declaration of war in 8 fronts, I will share with you a breaking news just right now in St. Louis City Justice Center. Inmate crashing windows and just like it happened before. So this is just breaking in. I will share this video, then I will go back to my presentation. Let's watch this.
We start with breaking news. Another prisoner revolt at the St. Louis City Justice Center. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the holiday off. Less than 2 months after February's riots, where faulty locks and staff shortages were partly to blame, fires were burning again at the Justice Center. The windows smashed, tables being thrown out of those windows. The Justice Center is located just across the street from City Hall on Tucker, just blocks from Enterprise Center. And our Robert Townsend is live with the latest. Robert.
Hey there, Mike. This wild and chaotic revolt is still happening. Look back there, and man, just look at this for yourself, and you can see dozens and dozens of inmates. They have been breaking out these windows continuously. You see them there. They are throwing all kinds of things out of these windows. We've watched them as they threw mattresses, water bottles, toilet paper, and other objects out of the third floor windows. Again, they're screaming all kinds of obscenities and shouting all kinds of things, including no justice, no peace. You can hear them shouting there. They're shouting, they're laughing, they're throwing things constantly out of this window. Big glass window right across the street again from City Hall. Again, this is all happening for the last 45 minutes here. Authorities, we're told, are responding. Police have blocked off all streets around the downtown Justice Center. This disturbance again comes less than 2 months after a similar one back in February. Again, St. Louis police have blocked off every street all around the Justice Center. Back here live again. Come on back out here to this live picture. You can see these guys are they're throwing all kinds of items. Looks like to me to be sheets are falling from these windows. Again, we're watching them set toilet paper and what appears to be just sheets of notebook paper on fire. Again, all this, you see these people who are gazing and watching this thing. They've got their cell phones on. They are recording it. I've been watching them for the last 45 minutes. They're recording every second of this wild, chaotic revolt happening here at the Justice Center in downtown St. Louis. Nobody, as far as we can tell, has been hurt in any kind of way. These guys are getting a kick out of this. I mean, I'm watching them laugh and scream and shout. They've been shouting. Again, obscenities at police and firefighters who are on the sidelines here, just beneath and all around the yellow crime scene tape here. But again, this revolt is well underway, about 45 minutes or so. And as I can see right now, these guys are not letting up at any point. Mike, you see it for yourself.
And Robert, we saw this back on February 6th, that it looks very much like it did on February 6th. Can you give me an idea of what authorities are doing right now? Have they set up a perimeter? Where are they?
Yeah, I'm going to try to stay on the sideline here. Don, just pan a little bit over here. Let's start over here. You can see they got a big fire truck right here, okay? Fire trucks. We've seen fire trucks here. Back there down Tucker and Clark right there. Lots and lots of police officers are standing by. I've just been told it's the disturbance team, officers from what the city calls a disturbance team. These guys are armed with guns. They're wearing bulletproof vests. They're on the sidelines waiting, we're told. The city spokesperson is telling me that they're not going inside this jail just yet, but you see them all around different corners here and intersections. We're looking at Tucker and Clark. We've got a bunch of them there. Come on down a little bit here. Again, just on the other side of this fire truck, I see more police officers. Down Tucker, they're all around this perimeter here. Mike. Just again, I've been watching armed officers there. I think I saw at least one guy come in with a couple of K9s. Everybody's just kind of watching and waiting right now. No official word from the city spokesperson as far as when the officers plan to activate some sort of plan. We just don't know. But right now, the story is definitely these guys. They're continuing to chant all kinds of things and throw that. There goes a guy throwing a yellow piece of cloth outside the window. They've been throwing bottles and pieces of paper on fire. Again, the big thing that we saw them toss out of these windows were literally mattresses that were tossed right outside the front window of this Justice Center. Again, very eerily similar to what we saw about a month and a half ago.
And Robert, give me an idea, because normally on a Sunday night this late in downtown St. Louis, the streets are very quiet, especially on an Easter Sunday, but it looks like they're drawing a crowd right now.
Oh yeah, they're definitely drawing a crowd. I'm going to have my photographer, Don Galloway, pan a little bit over here. Again, this crowd is growing too. As we continue to watch the chaos grow, I'm watching people of all races, ages. I mean, people have masked up. They are actually I got to tell you, it looks like to me they're getting a kick out of watching this on this Easter Sunday. I'm watching couples and singles and just people just kind of gazing at this. Again, when I was coming up, get here to the scene, I saw people whipping out their cell phones and laughing along with the crowd. And then I got to tell you this too, there were several people, lots of them actually, cheering these guys on as they were shouting, "No justice, no peace." But yeah, I can tell you right now, downtown St. Louis rather, outside City Hall is anything but quiet right now. It's a wild, chaotic scene. This revolt is still happening. And again, if we pan back there, you can see more guys, more women and guys approaching this scene with their cell phones held high. They're getting a kick out of recording every minute of this. It's just downright unbelievable that this is happening right here at the Justice Center in downtown St. Louis. Of course, we're following it every minute of it, Mike, and I'll keep you posted as our newscast drags on, okay?
All right, Robert, stay on top of it. We'll continue to follow this all night until it's under control, but obviously there are going to be a lot of questions about how this can happen again so soon. This is a jail, after all. It's also been a weekend.
Okay, so that's just breaking in St. Louis, Missouri. We don't know the reason. It happened before in February. It happened again. No justice, no peace.
Craving Jersey Mike's in our one-of-a-kind red wine vinegar
We don't
and
know.
olive oil blend? Just tap and unwrap. Order Jersey Mike's through our app for
we
no
got
contact
issues.
delivery and at-the-door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Okay, here we go. Please don't come back. So that is the video I shared from local TV station, Channel 4. You know, the inmates angry about something, I have no idea. So breaking the windows, setting fire, throwing stuff, and it's just breaking in. So that's why I share with you. Let's see the other point I have for today. I have also a couple of other videos. Before that, I wanna read a comment or a call for urgent action about the situation in Ethiopia. As you know, Abiy Ahmed declared war, so I have statement to make. April 5, 2021. Urgent global I came here today to call for urgent global intervention in Ethiopia before more humanitarian crisis and war crimes committed again in Tigray, Oromia, Benishangul Gumuz and other regions. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia declared war on Tigrayans, Oromos, and the Benishangul Gumuz region's residents, despite the international community's call for ceasefire and dialogues and reconciliation to settle the differences and various legitimate concerns. The international community are demanding the investigation for atrocities, genocides, and war crimes carried out by Eritrean criminal forces, Amhara militia, and Ethiopian soldiers. Instead of cooperating and resolving these outstanding issues, the Prime Minister is waging a war in 8 fronts to commit more crimes and to jeopardize the lives of Ethiopians. We need urgent global intervention or concrete action to stop this madman from destroying more lives in Ethiopia. We are crying for USA, European Union, United Nations, Canada, Australia, and other nations support to stop this war before more genocide and other atrocities occur in Ethiopia again. Your words and warnings are ignored by Abiy Ahmed and his supporters in Ethiopia. We need sanctions of all types imposed on Ethiopia and UN peacekeeping force deployment to save Ethiopians from ongoing war. Please rush to stop Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed from spilling more bloodshed in Ethiopia. Please stop this madman from repeating the war crimes, genocides, and the crimes against humanity again and again under your watch. All the concerns you raised about Ethiopia in previous months and the weeks are happening again in Tigray, Oromia, and the Benishangul Gumuz regions in Ethiopia. Please save the lives of the powerless in Ethiopia who have been subjected to existential threat under the pretext of law and order operations. European Union, USA, UN, Canada, Australia, and others, your urgent actions are needed. Please act. Thank you, and God bless you for saving humanity in Ethiopia. Viewers and listeners, please do your part to share about the danger and the life-threatening situations in the situations in Oromia, Tigray, and others under Abiy Ahmed war. So this is an urgent call for United Nations, for USA, European Union, Canada, Australia, to come up with some kind of action against Abiy Ahmed to stop this ongoing war. He declared war on eight direction. He say he ordered his military and the federal police to wage a war against his own citizens in 8 fronts. So that's why I'm calling on the United Nations, USA, European Union, Canada, and Australia to help to save lives, to stop this madman from waging war and causing genocide, war crimes, rapes, so many things we talked about in the last months, weeks. So Urgent action is needed, not words. They don't care about words. I said before, they don't care about your warning. They don't care. They feel when you apply pressure, sanctions, all kind of sanction, financial, diplomatic, all kind. So please act soon, please. I know the United States is with the help of some congressmen working on some kind of sanctions, but it's not yet come. I know they sent a letter to Secretary Blinken to act, to use all possible ways, but so far we didn't see nothing happening on Abiy or on Ethiopia or on Abiy Ahmed supporters. The bloodshed is still going on, and we need action, please. UN, we need peacekeeping force intervention in Ethiopia. This war is destroying the country, as so many media reported, and with the help of several satellites. So war crime is committed, genocide committed, crime against humanity committed. So instead of investigating this thing, now he's trying to repeat with a big force again. So please save Ethiopians, save the Tigrayans, the Oromos, the Benishanguls, and others from becoming the victim of another genocide. So that's for international communities and for you two listeners of Concerned Citizens Media to play your part in sharing this concern with your senators, congressmen. We can call Senator Chris Cohn, who went to Ethiopia and came back here. So we have to let him know what's happening. I know he also maybe know what is happening, but if not, we have to let him know Abiy Ahmed declared war in 8 directions instead of ceasefire. He suggested instead of stopping war and resolving the issues through diplomatic means. So we need whatever we need to do whatever we can to stop this man from waging war. Okay, then the other message I have for Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, please, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, you are waging a war you cannot win. Yes, you have soldiers and the federal police and other security apparatus are listening to you, following your order without any question, and you have all the resources around you. You can order anybody, you can use whatever finance available for you, because nobody is challenging you, no parliament is challenging you, nobody. You're acting like a king now. So, but your power will not take you anywhere. You know it. You are not winning. Instead of containing the problem, you are expanding the problem. Bloodshed everywhere. People are hating each other. Ethiopians hate each other under your leadership. So I ask you, I beg you, please resign and form a transitional government in that country. You are a failed leadership. You failed the country, you failed. And you are sitting in the name of Oromos there. Even though you are acting against Oromos, you are killing Oromos, and now you are waging a huge war. This will not give you peace, doesn't bring peace for you, and you cannot get the Ethiopia you imagine through force, through military force, through federal force. So please stop. Be smart like your former Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn. He tried, it didn't work, he resigned. Please resign instead of causing more bloodshed in that country. People hate each other. They act against each other, and you wage a war in Tigray, the war that you cannot win. Now you are doing on Benishangul, doing it. Actually, you have been doing it in Oromia for the last 3 years. Now with more force. This will not help the country, and you're gonna create more bloodshed. And I know your religion do not allow you to do this, but I don't know. You may not be a religious person, because I heard that your religion is against the killing. So please stop, and stop this war, stop the bloodshed, and give the position to somebody else. Let somebody try, or create a transitional government through reconciliation dialogue. So if you want to save the Ethiopia you are looking for, but Ethiopia cannot be saved through blood, through war, creating war against each other. So that's the message for Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to reconsider, consider to leave the office for the sake of Ethiopians and for the sake of Ethiopia. The other is other news. Amara and Oromo Prosperity Party had a secured meeting today. The agenda is not public, but probably they want to discuss the issues raised by the Amaras, Amara PP members. So probably about the killing they care about in Wallega. They don't care about the one happened in Wallo. They care only in Wallega and some other areas. So they have they had a secured meeting. I don't know what the final outcome. It's a PP, and the meeting is supposed to be happen with all PP members, not only the Amara and the Oromo PP or Prosperity Party members. The country is, in a very dangerous situation. So two parties, two ethnic, I know they are the majority, but they have to call the parliament or call all Prosperity Party to discuss the situation of Ethiopia. And is it worse to cause bloodshed in the country? So they're supposed to discuss this thing with urgency to stop the war and find a different way to resolve the issue, instead of repeating all the atrocities, the rapes, the displacement of citizens, the famine, the destruction of hospitals, schools, universities, churches, mosques, especially in Tigray. They're supposed to, say enough is enough to this guy. Enough is enough. He invited Eritreans and some others to destroy his own country, just for the sake of politics. I know Tigrayans, they are fighters. They resist. They will not give up. He will not win. and he cannot win. He is in a war that cannot be won. That's why all the global communities called upon him to have a ceasefire and have a dialogue, but he didn't listen. And instead of doing that, he expanding the war. So the parliament, I know the parliament is nothing in Ethiopia. They're supposed to be the public voice. They're supposed to challenge him, just like the Wallo representatives. The Wallo representatives, they spoke on behalf of their constituents. Supposed to be like that, parliament members. So that's that meeting. I don't know. That's a secured meeting. The agenda is not clear, but even though we understand it from the public media and social media, they will talk about the Amaras killing, and the Amaras administrative demanded the meeting, you know, and Abiy okay with it because he has no choice. He doesn't have Oromo support. If you lose the Amara support, he knows he cannot go anywhere. So that's why he say, okay, let's have the meeting, let's discuss. But that meeting is supposed to be conducted with all members and parliament plus other concerned citizens if you are looking for the best solution to stop the war, to stop the bloodshed, to stop the animosity amongst Ethiopians. Okay. And the other news is Eritrean criminal force left Ethiopia. That's the Ethiopian foreign affairs released a statement saying that Eritreans criminal force left Ethiopia. But since these people, they lie a lot, there is no proof. Some media suggest that more Eritreans are joining the fight against TPLF in Tigray region instead of leaving. And so from previous statements, the foreign minister, the prime minister, the military generals, and the others, PP members, including the religious persons, they lie. They don't have credibility. So now they're telling us the Eritreans left. But what is the proof? Where is the proof? How? It should be verified by independent media. Other than that, we don't trust their words. They didn't even apologize until now. They didn't apologize. Starting from the Prime Minister, Diakon Daniel Kubret, Dina Mufti, and all the PP members, the military generals, all of them, they lied. And still they are waging war, staying in power, keep lying, and never apologize. So that's another news. The other thing is Yoya Media said the Wallo Oromos, it seems they are in an embargo by the Amara administrations, and nothing is coming in. Yoya Media is saying that it's on a market day. Nothing is coming from different directions. It's supposed to happen like before. So no food, no oil, no soap, nothing, no clothing. Nothing is coming to the marketplace. It looks like a systematic embargo on Wallo Oromos. So now they are subjected to, could be a very serious hunger. And they are under Amara administration, but Amaras, they want them leave. So this embargo may be calculated by Amaras by doing this squeeze them so they can leave their land. So this is a very serious crime. This is very serious genocide on Wallo Oromos. Whoever is doing this, whoever is creating this pressure by blocking goods and other materials from coming to the market, including medicines to local clinics. So this is very serious issue. We have to raise it to the international community. This is a genocide in a making, very serious, very bad, and it's a war crime if this is really true. But I think it's Georgia media get the information from local Wallo Oromos. So we should verify this. If this is true, this is a war crime against the Wallos. So we have to raise our voice, speak on behalf of them, to expose this war crime happened under the Amara administration on Wallo Oromos. This is a very serious war crime. You know, blocking food, blocking goods from coming to, blocking medicine from coming to the area. So that's all I have. So thank you for listening, and again, for the global community, we have to all speak with one voice to to ask them to intervene with a peacekeeping, to intervene with different kind of sanctions, so that can help us save Ethiopia for future. If not, Ethiopia will be the land of bloodshed under Abiy Ahmed, and this guy is keep waging war, keep creating problems, and nothing is getting better. Things are going worse. Ethiopia is collapsing and the people are killing each other. So that is the issue. The United States, EU, United Nations, others, please come up with some kind of tough sanctions, and the UN peacekeeping force to intervene in Ethiopia and save humanity. And we will appreciate if you do that. So let's share some videos, then conclude today's presentation. Okay, let's see. There you go, come on. There you go. Now let's see. There you go. Okay, I got a few videos to share with you, then we'll be done.
Welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the Voice of Reason. So in this Horn of Africa update, I wanted to discuss some recent comments made by Abiy Ahmed pertaining directly to the Ethiopian army and some of the challenges that it was currently facing. So in these comments, Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, stated the Ethiopian army was facing challenges on 8 different fronts. And one of those fronts he specifically mentioned was the transition to guerrilla warfare that is taking place inside of the Tigray region. And as we know, recently Ethiopian and Eritrean forces have attempted to penetrate central Tigray in an effort to clamp down on this guerrilla activity. This operation was unsuccessful and has recently been marred by continued Tigrayan Defense Force operations that have spread outside of central Tigray to include operations inside of Amhara region and the current operation that looks to block the activity along the B30 highway. But again, Abiy Ahmed had talked about these issues and the challenges that were ongoing in terms of the guerrilla warfare that it was facing. He had mentioned how the Tigrayan fighting forces were integrating with the civilian populace to conduct operations. And this is completely normal, especially when you have the sort of activity that was being conducted by the Eritrean army and the Ethiopian army when pertaining to executions and extrajudicial killings. So this is going to be the normal occurrence within said conflict. It is going to be the natural course of said conflict. And the end game for the Ethiopian military is going to be an eventual withdrawal from the Tigray region. Compounding this, he has also discussed issues in the Oromia region with the challenges they were facing by the Oromo Liberation Army. And we know the uptick in fighting has been rather intense of late because of the aggressive activity by the OLA that has been occurring over the last 30 days. And obviously the Ethiopian army is facing challenges of its somewhat of its own making along the Sudanese border and then in other places inside of Ethiopia as well. But the three major areas of conflict obviously is the Tigray region. Secondly is the uptick in activity in the Oromia areas, or the Oromia region. And then finally the Sudanese border. These other areas in which he's referring to, I would assume, is the security situation near the Grand Renaissance Dam and some other ethnic challenges that are ongoing inside of Ethiopia. But I would assume that the two primary issues right now within Ethiopia is the Tigray region, which is an industrial strength guerrilla operation right now, insurgency, so to speak, as is challenges with the Oromo Liberation Army. But it was interesting to hear him comment on these issues, and I do not believe it is going to get any better for the Ethiopian army, considering some of the activities that have been occurring in some of its decision-making processes in terms of the extrajudicial killings. I do believe it's only going to get worse as time continues, and again, I still predict we will see the collapse of the Ethiopian National Defense Forces into something else again within the next 100 or so days. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, that's his analysis on the situation. Let me see other videos. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, good. There you go. I got this one and the one more. still apology for technical issues. There you go. So this is Myanmar pro democracy protesters forming a barrier or a barricade. It looks like they are also carrying guns. So they are still on the street, despite the killing, despite all the pressure from the military. These are very, very strong people, really. Almost, what, a month? They are still on the street.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The Lex.
Okay, this is the last one.
With all the fanfare that befits Egypt's ancient kings and queens, the highly anticipated and meticulously planned Pharaoh's Golden Parade was the biggest cultural event Cairo has seen in recent years. Travelling in individual vehicles bedecked in ancient Egyptian style, the mummified royals, 22 of them in all, were moved from Cairo's Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square. They moved through the capital streets to a new location, a state-of-the-art facility called the National Museum of Ancient Civilization, where they were greeted by a concert from the Cairo Philharmonic featuring famous singers and then received by the Egyptian president. The pharaohs are the stuff of legend and include Amenhotep I, Ramses II, Ramses III, and Queen Nefertari.
You've got two worlds really coming together. You've got the curators who normally move these things without the world watching and prepare objects to travel around the world, but then you've got a spectacle that needs to be put on. So the logistics behind it were very complex, and you can imagine they've been working on it for a very long time, and I think they really pulled it off. It's got the spectacle, but we also felt that everything was done safely.
The security operation was a mammoth undertaking. Streets were closed and Cairo brought to a standstill. The event, which lasted around 2 hours, was attended by various dignitaries, including the Director General of UNESCO, the UN's World Heritage Organization. Once the mummies arrived at their new resting place, they are to be put into restoration in a lab for 15 days and readied for display. But there are a minority who mutter darkly about an ancient curse. Legend has it that cursed will be the ones that move the mummies. They say the Suez Canal blockage disturbing global markets, 2 trains colliding with each other, a garment factory blaze and a residential building collapse all came after the announcement of the Pharaoh's Golden Parade. But the ancient curse hasn't stopped the pharaohs once again appearing on the streets of Egypt. Imran Khan, Al Jazeera.
Did you know that you can make money from YouTube without creating videos? That's right. People right now in April 2021 are making 100.
Good day and welcome.
Okay, that's the last video for today. The ancient pharaohs moving to a new locations. That's interesting. Thanks to Al Jazeera for sharing that video. So that's all I have for today. And as I said, the very urgent one is the war happening in Ethiopia in a 8 direction. That's a very serious situation, because the military doesn't have a good name anymore. We have reported what happened in the Tigray region, what happened in the last 3 years in Oromia. They don't have any conduct of military. You know, the war has its own discipline, how you gonna fight, how you treat the captives. Social media has so many videos how the Amara militia acts on the captives. Once you captured the prisoners, you have a treaty how to treat the prisoners of war. But the militias, the Eritreans, including the Ethiopian forces, I don't think they have this in mind. They just acted very badly, so their name is destroyed. They don't have conduct of discipline, how to treat seniors. We have reported in Oromia how the Abiy Ahmed forces treated Abagadas, 70 plus years old Abagadas, very senior people, very respected in the society. So the security guards came in the middle of the night, break their houses, played or practiced karates on them. It was reported on Voice of America, Oromo service. That's shame. That's very shame. You cannot build a country in that way, by degrading the respect of Abagadas or senior Oromo leaders. And this campaign of forming Ethiopia will not be successful. You cannot form Ethiopia through guns, through killings, through bloodshed. Yes, some people, they dream of that. You can't. We are in the 21st century. You cannot silence people by gun. So Abiy Ahmed, I repeat again, please resign, form the transitional government in that country, let all the stakeholders take part on the future of Ethiopia. Ethiopia doesn't belong to you, only to you. I mean, yes, you are Ethiopian, but it doesn't only belong to you. Ethiopia is the land for 110 million Ethiopians. So don't assume if you go, Ethiopia will go. No. 110 million Ethiopians. So I heard your speech last time. You are ready to sacrifice for Ethiopia. It is good, but from past experience, never happened. Before you, Mengistu Haile Mariam said the same thing. He will remain until one man and one tree left. Then when the situation is changed, he fled. He fled to Zimbabwe to save his life and his family. You're gonna do the same thing. So I know you say it for politics. Please do not assume Ethiopia only belongs to you. You do it to get like you are more Ethiopians than others. No, Ethiopia belongs to 100 million, 110 millions. And also you cannot build Ethiopia by ignoring 60 millions plus Oromos, as you are trying now, by putting them in jail, by waging a war against them, so and winning the election by yourself, putting all Oromo politicians in jail, thousands of Oromos in jail. It might work for now, but for successful Ethiopia, it will not work. You know it. You know it. So please again, consider resigning. Concerned citizens media repeatedly call upon you to resign because the country is collapsing under your leadership. Please consider. And please, listeners and the viewers of Concerned Citizens, play your part. Share this urgent call for action. Call your U.S. senators, congressmen, let them know Ethiopians are in danger under Abiy Ahmed. 8 war in different directions is happening now. So the war crimes, genocide, crimes against humanity, all the things, the atrocities expressed by global media and the global community is going to happen again if we don't stop it. So thank you again. I will be back with other news and comment. So long, everyone.